Hello everyone. Today we'll be taking a look at the BW Gas Alert Max 2 4-gas meter. We'll be covering how to bump and calibrate it and some of the current problems that we've been having with the meters. Here we have a standard bump station that most control rooms has. Most of these bump stations have 2 to 4 bays in it. When you're bumping or calibrating the meter, you should always use this bump station. Here we have the 4-gas mix. It contains carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide or H2S, methane for the LEL, oxygen, and nitrogen. Always be sure that we're using this Gasco blue bottle with your bump station. When you attach the hose from the regulator on the gas bottle, always be sure that it's in the number 2 bay. The number 2 bay is the intake for the gas going into the bump machine. The number 1 bay is for fresh air when the purge goes through the meter after each bump or calibration. So just remember that the cal gas always goes into the number 2 bay from the regulator. At the start of every day, before we do any hot work, of course, we've got to start up the meter and bump test or calibrate depending on what it calls for. It's got to be bump test every day or every 24 hours or the meter won't let you do anything. So turn the meter on, just push the blue button one time and it goes through its startup process. First thing it's going to ask you to do is block the inlet. It's got a built-in pump, and this is the pump inlet here. Place your finger over it until it tells you to unblock the inlet. Take your finger off and it will start up its process. They go through and tell you the pump's okay, and then it's going to show you the H2S and CO high and low alarm. High and lows on all 4 gases that we're testing for. Then it's going to go through a self-testing process. It's going to look and see when the last time that it was bumped or calibrated, and the next thing you're going to see on the screen is cal doing 11 days, and now this meter must be bump test before we can go any further. Before you begin your bump test or calibration, you always want to look at the lot number and the expiration date on the bottle. On the bottle, you'll see a use before date. You see this is 1/18 of 2019. You'll record this information along with the lot number onto the calibration form found on SAM's. Once you start it up and you begin the process and the alarm is going off on your meter and it's telling you to bump do now, place it into the cradle, close the lid, pull down the transfer unit, and most all the units will automatically start bump testing the meter. Bump testing generally takes 10 to 15 seconds. It'll apply the gas, and after the meter reads the gas, it should show you a series of check marks of what has passed or what has failed. As you can see, this meter has failed in a couple areas. It's failed on the visual and it's failed on the LEL sensor. After it applies the gas to the meter, it'll go through a 45-second purge period to push all the gases out of the meter to where it just has fresh air. Let it purge all the way through before you take the meter out of the bump station. After the countdown is complete, remove the meter from the bump station. If it has not passed, like this one failed, it'll still show you the bump now. you will not be able to use this meter until it has a fresh bump. One of the reasons that we found that a meter may fail on the visual test is these sensors here in the meter, or in the bump station. Sometimes they get dust and dirt on them, and if you have a meter that continues to fail on that visual test, take a soft cloth like a lens cleaning wipe, which I normally use, and clean just the little white checks that read that alarm on the meter. Just kind of wipe them off. Let it air dry for just a couple minutes. After you wipe them off, that gets all the dirt and dust off of the sensor. And then also on the meter, around the outside edges where that bump station reads the flashing lights, go ahead and clean those and make sure that that bump station can read those flashing lights, and also let it air dry for a few minutes. One of the biggest reasons why we see sensors failing on the LEL or H2S is the capacity of the bottle. So in this case, where we had this 1 meter fail, our bottle is almost empty. It carries enough oxygen and it carries enough carbon monoxide and H2S to make the sensors read, but it doesn't on the methane to make the LEL sensor. So be sure that your regulator on your bottle is showing at least 200 psi. If it's showing lower than that, then go ahead and put on the MT cap and return this to the storeroom for a new one. Before returning the bottle to the storeroom, you want to be sure that the MT cap is applied and the stem of the bottle is pushed all the way down. When you put this cap in, you always want to do this outside because of the small amount of gas that can be in there. You don't want to trap it inside the control room. So go outside, screw this cap down until the stem is compressed, and you'll hear the gas escape. And when you take it to the storeroom, put it in the empty gas bottle return and get a new one. After you've inserted the regulator into the new bottle, ensure that you plug up the hose to the number 2 port on the bump station. Once you start up a meter after it's failed a bump test, you'll have to go through the same steps of letting it start up, blocking the inlet, and let it start its startup process. Once it's completely started up, it's going to tell you that the last bump failed. One of the biggest problems we've seen when employees ask us to work on the meter is this alarm that it shows right here, last bump failed, or last bump check failed. Before you can put it back into the cradle to bump again, you've got to hit the blue button one time, and then it'll tell you bump due now. After that's showing, you can place it back into the cradle and bump it again. We've cleaned all our sensors and we've put a new bottle of gas on, so we're going to bump this meter again. Place it back into the cradle, close the lid, and pull down the hose, and the machine should automatically start. To start its bump check, apply the gas. As you can see here, all tests have now passed. Your bump station is going to show you that your audio, your visual, your H2S, CO, LEL, and O2 all have check marks by them with a pass OK to the left side. After that's done, you can take it out of your cradle and you're ready to use the meter. We're now going to move on to calibration of the meter. It's the same process, so when you start up the meter, you lock your inlet, let it start up, and if your meter needs to be calibrated, it's the first alarm that it's going to give you. Let it go all the way through the process and start up. After it's completely started up, it's going to tell you that the force calibration is on. At this point, you're now ready to drop it back into the bump station. Insert the meter into the gas bump station, close the lid, pull down the gas chamber, and it automatically start the calibration. The calibration takes a little bit longer. Generally it takes 3 to 4 minutes to complete a full calibration. Let it run its course until it comes up and shows you on the screen. After the calibration is finished, it's again going to show you if it passed or failed each sensor, and then it's going to count down the purge for 45 seconds. Let it purge until it's completely done. After it's completed the purge cycle, remove the meter from the base. The meter is then going to tell you that it must be bumped. After every calibration, you have to bump the meter for it to read all the sensors again. So be sure after the calibration to drop it right back into the bump station and run a bump check. The bump check should be fairly quick. Applies the gas. And within just a few seconds, it's going to start the purge cycle again. Again, all of our sensors have passed. Take this time now to log into your logbook the date of calibration, your cal gas number, the expiration date, the person that bumped the meter. Be sure that we fill out all associated paperwork with this meter. After it completes its purge cycle, you're ready again to use this meter. After it is counted down and the pump is shut off, remove the meter. The pump will automatically start back up. The green flashing light will be showing. You should have all zeros on your H2S, your CO, and your LEL, and your oxygen should be somewhere around 20.3 to 20.9, and your meter is ready to go. When you're ready to turn your meter off, simply hold down the button and let it count backwards from 3. Once your screen goes blank, let go of the button, and that's the calibration and the bump of the BW Gas Alert Max 2. We hope this video has been informative and you've learned a little bit more about the BW meter. Of course, as always, if you have any problems with them, please contact anybody in the safety department. We'll be more than glad to take a look at it and get it fixed up for you. Thank you for watching. Have a safe day.